When people walk away with this book, The Art of Human Chess, a study guide to winning, I want people to realize that there's nothing in the world you can't do. Whatever your mind believes and conceive, it can achieve. A winner never quit and a quitter never win. That's why it's a study guide to winning. I want people to know they can win in whatever endeavor it may be, whether it's in the streets or the suites, in the ghetto blocks of the Wall Street stocks, in the sewer or the entrepreneur. You can win, Jack, because I got the knowledge, I got the power, and I'm sending that power and that knowledge to you via this book, The Art of Human Chess, and people are going to walk away with a better understanding of life. Yes, for example, I talk about in the book, when I used to take guys for their girl, I used to use a lot of deception. And I use deception as one of the principles that you must learn in order to keep deception off you. Because, say for example, somebody try to use some bad dice on you. If you don't know what bad dice is, then you're going to be a sucker and they're going to catch you. So what I try to do is I try to, talk about the things that I did, as far as how I used to take women from guys, how I used to, manipulate the situation. Like I talk about when I was in New York, I used to throw payday candy bars at niggas, girls, you know what I'm saying? And, and it was just a way to insult the guys and to let the girls know, hey, I'm in the house, hey, psh, I throw a candy bar, payday candy bar, hey, make it a Pimpin can payday. And then when the guys would come, I would give them a lollipop and I'd say, this is for you, sucker. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of little manipulations and a lot of little science and a lot of little demonstrations that I used in order to mix up, the environment and cause the environment, to cater to me. So in this book, I talk about Barack Obama, how he became president, how he sent Oprah down there in Iowa, how he got name recognition. And once he got name recognition, it was just easier for him, as a politician, to get the endorsements that he got. Mark Zuckerberg gave him access to Facebook, where he raised millions of dollars. That's what chess is. When I throw a candy bar and throw it at somebody's girl, what I'm doing is I'm announcing myself. I'm doing something that's out of the ordinary. I'm doing something that's not customary. I'm doing something that's going to shake up the game. And that's what Barack Obama did. He shook up the game with his politics and with his campaign. He did things that were unprecedented. He done things that was never done in politics before. He brought social media to politics. And that's what this book does. It gives the comparison. It draws a contrast between the streets and the suites. Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest gentlemen, men who ever walked the face of earth. He used himself as a human pawn. Basically, what he did was he went to jail for 27 years to liberate his people. And that's what he did. He liberated the people of South Africa. And then when they thought that he was going to come out and be a tyrant, what he did was he allowed the white people of South Africa to have equal power. Then he went to the game, where they had the rugby game, and he wore the jersey, and the people were shouting for him, and they were shouting for the South Africa pride. So, all of these things is what is necessary, what's required to become a great human chess player. You got to have a lot of finesse, you got to have a lot of game. So I don't see the difference between a stockbroker and a petty con man. One con for thousands and the other one con for millions, but they both conning. Well, pimping is a non-contact sport. It's not the NBA, it's the NPA, National Pimp Association. So, you know what I'm saying? We don't believe in physicality. We use game. That's what makes you a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your ability to articulate your words. So, when I would do things like that, guys would try to come up with more creative ideas. And when they would come up with more creative ideas, all I would do is I'd put a catch up by each one of their tires and say, my game is thick as high as yours, never be as thick as mine. You need to catch up and quit dipping in that mustard. So it was always a mental thing where we'd keep battling each other. We would keep trying to, see who was the sharpest. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of times, guys, when I first came to New York, I wasn't accepted. By the end of the time, my time in New York before Mary Giuliani closed the track, when it was live and 11th Avenue was popping, by that end of that time, everybody in New York loved me. Because I was flashy. I wore the Gators, I wore the Minks, I wore the big diamonds, and them guys, they weren't used to a guy from a small town like Milwaukee, doing that. They was like, man, who the hell is this dude? You know what I'm saying? Why is he so, he's so smooth and suave, and I shook it up. So a lot of times, my only repercussion was a guy would try to get my girl back. We had the thing on the track, we say, if I set one, I can sweat one. So if you set a hoe, you can sweat a hoe. So, they would try to sweat me and they would try to get my girls and all this and that and the other, and that was fair in the game, you know what I'm saying? But, I, you know, I welcome a challenge, you know what I'm saying? I welcome somebody coming at me, because that makes me creative. You know what I'm saying? If you get at me, I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna give you a time of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, pimping got to be in your blood and not in your syrup mug. You can't sip it. You know what I mean? You got to pimp it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys, they simps. You know what I'm saying? So I just stab them in their pimping and watch them walk away limping. You know what I'm saying?